let's check out some of the work that's getting done. We took a hood scoop from a 1960 Thunderbird. We're grafting it into the stock hood. Still needs to be cut and welded and metal finished, but it's turned out pretty cool. The reason we did that is because we have clearance issues with this coyote motor we put in. It barely did not fit. It's looking good though. We have Sean's custom alloy intake and valve covers. We're also doing a centrifugal supercharger on this motor. It's not on it right now because we have some clearance issues that we're still working on re-bracketing the supercharger. But I did a full firewall that's been pushed towards the motor to take up the gap that the Lincolns have. We recessed the brake booster and also did the hood to open the correct way, in my opinion. It makes it a lot easier to service, to have the hood opening this way. At car shows, people aren't leaning over the side of your car. Just makes more sense, in my opinion. And I think it looks better. So not only is the inside have a nice transmission tunnel and drive shaft tunnel, but we actually had to channel the floor for the exhaust to run through, since there's no room for the exhaust to go underneath the car. So I did it all out of 1/8 inch, so it kind of acts as a subframe assembly inside the floor of the car. And we did not buy an air ride kit for this car because everything on those kits, most of them bolt on and they don't go as low as we wanted. So we actually plated the entire frame, the body, because it's a unibody. We plated the whole body with all 1/4 inch, and that acts as our mounting system for our upper links, just to be super strong and act as a chassis. We're working on framing all this in for all our sheet metal. We got the fuel tank mounted. Right now I just have 3D printed bell crank arms on there for the shocks, but I have the billet ones already done. They're just not mounted on there yet. We're just doing outer wheel tubs. We're keeping the factory inner wheel tubs. The factory wheel tubs radius in really hard, so the tires don't go up as high as the wheel tubs right here go. Still got a lot of rust repairs to do on the flange, but we're getting into all the metal work on this car. So we'll lift it up and we'll have a look underneath. So what we got going on in here, in the front suspension we'll start. We got a modified set of Devious Customs control arms because he had those already. So I ended up using a C10 Willwood Pro spindle because the acronym was basically the same. It's just the steering was all different. But the cool thing about these spindles is the steering arm bolts on, so you can potentially put any geometry steering on it you want. So that's what I did. Made my own steering arms. We have Evo'd Machine Works doing all our machining. So we're able to 3D print one, test it, cycle it, and then get them machined. We did a custom steering setup, the tie rods and pitman arms and everything. We have big Willwood brakes in the front. But the reason we did the GM spindles was because every kit, everything to do with these Lincolns, when you buy the air ride kits, they actually don't touch down on anything. They just max out the upper ball joints until there's no more movement, and I'm not okay with that. So they don't sell drop spindles for these cars. So this is a drop spindle. So it moves our center point up, so we're able to get the car down as low as we want with all the ball joints being happy, no bad angles. The reason I had to modify the arms is because we're a little bit different angles, so I just had to push the upper ball joint in to get our camber and everything correct. These are the channels for the exhaust, as you can see. We're gonna do a nice 3-inch oval that can run all the way through with no problems of clearing. We still got some cleanup work to do under here, but we redid the sub assembly here as well, all at 1/8 inch for the transmission cross member. We have nice lower custom made trailing arms for a bag on bar. What we're trying to achieve is with the 22, we want to be able to lift it high enough to pull the rear tires out. So I think we have like 12 inches of suspension lift, but we only have an 8-inch stroke shock, so that's why we did the bell crank arms for the shocks to get our full stroke. We're running Curry anti-rock sway bar assembly, and then a custom fuel tank. And like I said, we're starting to work on all the sheet metal now. And another cool thing that's done to this is, since the car lays right on the rockers, every vehicle has a pinch weld where your rocker and your floor meet and they're welded together, and you have this piece of sheet metal that hangs down, and it's just kind of ugly. So what I'm working on right now is what I call rocker extensions. So they're just kind of tacked on right now, but what this does is, if you look kind of down in here, you can see that pinch weld down in there, maybe. Maybe not. But anyways, it basically just brings the rocker down flush with a pinch weld. So that way, number one, the car will look a lot lower from the side profile because we brought it down, about an inch. And because the body of the car is there anyways because the pinch weld, so we're just bringing that down. So visually, it looks pleasing. You don't have this ugly pinch weld that's hanging down. And when the car is actually sitting on the ground, it'll look much lower.